Okay, we'll see how long this episode will be. Maybe it'll be 10 minutes, maybe it'll be less. Maybe more, who knows. Okay, let's see. There you go, skull. A photography of a smiling and loving couple with a few words written on the back. Milton and Pippa forever. Bring back the wallet to its owner. Okay. Oh, damn it. Eat him. Oh, damn it. Boom. You're dead. Is this the hospital? Nope. But this is someplace. I assume that head right there is like the... I don't know. Bring the wallet back. Okay. People being sick or dying.
I'm not one to make...
A glass vial. Okay, so she's been waiting for me. She's like, oh, come on. Hello.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan.
Brannigan.
Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Alright. Let's ask your life in London. What's the situation here?
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Well, obviously she's talking about the plague.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting.
Oh, what do you mean, especially
But all
for a
needs
nurse?
Good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Well, makes sense if you're not getting paid.
I'm
not
not
only
familiar
the
with all
mental
this
stress, but
Perhaps you could help me.
they are
Brilliant
putting themselves
professionals,
out to
most
get
of
the
Dr.
flu
Swansea
as
has
well.
a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Let's just ask anyone that stands out.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Alright. Details. Corcoran is exhausting himself and refuses to stop working. So probably gonna have to give him like a fatigue potion.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
She said everyone doing their best, but the subtitle said his best. So. Okay. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Hurry now, Doctor. It's freezing here.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent
Right
surgeon
here.
And blood transfusion specialist.
Stuck in London. Let's ask your life in London. What's the situation here?
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
Not really.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation?
This hospital...
It's not...
Okay, so you can skip them talking by with X. Just tell me about the staff.
What can you tell me about this?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Positive characters? Question mark.
Tell me more about cherished people then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go it.
Corcoran convinced that Gwyneth Barragan is overqualified. Nah, she probably is.
Even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
She's like, no
I don't
opinion.
always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
Back.
What is the...
This hospital is...
It's not exactly the best situation.
Don't be...
Okay, so that is all. I can't choose the other option. Okay. Let's say you are exhausted.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Let's say your attitude, because I mean, I guess she did tell us that in confidentiality. So let's see, your attitude is irresponsible.
Your attitude is irresponsible, Doctor. Believe me, I've seen so many medical errors caused by exhaustion during the war.
You're right. This is a war, Dr. Reed, and I don't intend to surrender.
Damn.
No.
Your attitude is irresponsible.
You're right.
All right.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Still standing after this epidemic.
I failed. I failed to get him.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you...
All right, let's continue on.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you.
Nurse Crane.
Isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
Okay, let's ask
I would
some
like
questions.
to ask a few questions first.
How is Mr. Hampton?
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
All right, Dr. Swansea.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Well, I mean... Okay, her social circle is the entirety of Whitechapel. Ah. It's a completely different thing. She isn't part of this place. She's right here. Ah, okay. I've only just met him. He knows me more than I know him.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Alright. She's...
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
She seems to have some opinions about Swansea. Some glass vials.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Oh,
Good
it's you
evening,
again.
Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Are you Porter? Probably. Gonna wait to talk with you. I thought there would be something hidden right there. Looked like a good place to have like a hidden item or something. Wait, what? He's gone. Wait, okay. Oh, here you are. Hello.
It's only a matter of time before the Pembroke closes its doors for good.
Can you remind me why we still work here?
Dr. Reed will help straighten things out in Pembroke, remember? I, for one, am still waiting to see it.
Well, that's reassuring. Believe me, it gives me courage.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
Alright. Introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Ah, yes. Let's give him his wallet.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet, with all the money, and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
Alright. Your life in London?
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Yeah.
So what do you do
I
exactly?
mean, he's very like confrontational,
Apart
this
from
Milton.
smuggling guns, I mean.
Seems like he has a bit of a
too long, I guess.
inferiority
I
complex.
bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
The
Yesterday I got
pandemic.
attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
How's the situation?
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Let's ask about the relationship.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
You could both get fired, fuck off. Bound by despair?
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. but we support each other. And that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think saying you could be fired, I think is stupid. So I'm not even gonna say that. Let's trade.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Okay, so this is buy Milton's shotgun. Get some bullets. So they're, you know, 1 shilling each. Handle parts, trigger part. And if I want to sell stuff. And these are the high resale value. I guess 16 is high. Let's sell 1 watch as well. So where is your girlfriend? Yeah, I have this thing. There's Milton hooks. Corrigan. Unknown. Unknown. Damn, there's a lot of people here. So you know what? I think I'm gonna get...
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
It's here again.
Let's talk to you.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Sean Hampton. Let's see. Let's ask about Tom Watts.
Do you know Tom Watts? The bartender from the Turtle. I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Let's ask. Corruption? Despair?
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
And also people are afraid.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did... Well, we know why he abducted him. But that's
Why
it
did he
anyways.
abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Alright.
You
Miss
dared
Hawcroft.
to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. Wet Boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Okay, wait. The Wet
Has
Boot
the gang
Boys.
been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Yeah, but vampires.
Who leads the
Well,
gang?
skulls are
Since
different
Clay Cox
things.
went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Ah, but Clay Cox isn't missing.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Wait,
Hello again, Dr. Reed.
personal question. What do you do? How do you feel? Made friends since you arrived?
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke. Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel?
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Then why not use your cross against William?
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
And I don't think he's a priest.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not
It's
at all,
just-
Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Alright. Let's go back.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton.
Discussed on every street corner. The daily routine.
In the name of mercy, they depend on you. Nurses are needed now. Yeah, but... Oh man.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Well... That's probably because that's who you are. Thomas. Losing your face won't change that. Let's ask him, did you surf along?
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
No offense taken.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Who is treating you?
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Oh god.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
I don't know, I don't feel like mesmerizing this guy. At least not now.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Yeah, she said left side of the stairs. Prevent disease, do not cough in public. Hello?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new
You
surgeon
look
at
cute.
the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm
Howcroft. Recognize that name?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
I mean, she's obviously not a vampire. But she's just a little crazy, I think. Thelma Howcroft. Celeste, your life in London. Are you a patient here? Well, let's ask her. You're a vampire?
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Cotard syndrome. Well, ever heard of Cotard syndrome? Well, let's ask her how she feels.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I don't even know what Cotard syndrome is, so I'm pressing this because I'm curious.
I see.
I think I've
Have you
heard
ever
of that before.
Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe
Okay, that's not. I thought maybe it was like some kind of like cannibalism thing.
Or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Yes. Yeah, so, I mean, we're like, yeah. We have given her that... what's called... diagnosis.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Let's ask her, your enemies?
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
There probably is something there. I mean...
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Wrong target. New investigation. Okay, I guess that's a new side mission, or... How do I check... Oh wait, what? Milton Hooks? Oh, okay. These are local investigations. find out who is spying on her. Thelma Hallcroft is a delusional patient, blah blah blah. Despite her obvious mental issues, the woman claims she is being spied on by some men and women who want to hunt her down because she's a vampire. Is she referring to the guard of Prewen? I can't take the risk of having these hunters investigate around the hospital. Maybe I should spy on them and protect Thelma Hallcroft from those hunters. Yeah, we probably should. Let's ask one personal question. Who are you really?
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave
Goodbye.
you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Well, I mean, do we really want to play into that? But yeah, it says that these two have some type of connection to each other. What their connection is, I don't know. But I really need... I mean, I was planning on ending this episode like 30 minutes ago. I wasn't even planning on doing this episode. So let's just find my... my room. Because, I mean, I'm getting very delirious. I'm like, oh god. What? I mean, it said used hacksaw. It's a weapon. A surgical hacksaw able to cut through bone. Details. It seems to do a decent amount of damage. It's 64, 65. But this has 15, 15, 15, 20. But it is level 2, the machete. And I think using a hacksaw could be pretty funny.
It's locked, all right.
A locked box. Dr. Reed.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Aluminium powder and 25 shillings. That's ammo thing.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
10 glass vials. Article on econs. It's a rare opportunity and almost privilege to approach a vampire to observe their most intriguing physical. Yeah. A lady with a hat. Dear Jonathan, I asked Nurse Crane to secure an office for you on the second floor. Please forgive the austere decoration, but Pembroke Hospital is not exactly the Ritz. Your office alone, but I need to sleep a little before going back to work. I'm just a mere mortal. After all, I also gave orders to let you rest and for the staff to never enter your room. You will be able to sleep all day without being disturbed, and work at night without raising any suspicion. I'm afraid the place is quite messy, but you will be able to conduct your experiments here at your own pace. You'll also notice there is an open window with scaffolding that will allow you to enter or exit the hospital without being noticed. I imagine how awfully new and disturbing this all must be for you. Yours sincerely, Edgar Griffith Swansea. P.S. I left a copy of some of your notes, of my notes concerning what I've discovered about Econ. Okay. Well, Swansea, you have been very, very helpful. And said that... So probably here, this will probably open up or something. And then I'll be able to teleport, you know. Not, yeah, you know, fly like that. But let's go right here. Let's see, defensive. You create an invisible barrier absorbing direct damage until it fades or is destroyed. Coagulation. You will block your target's blood. You will block your target's blood in their veins, making them defenseless. Huh. That sounds interesting. So let's spend on that. Drain your stamina to fade into shadows and become invisible to most enemies. Moving in this stage will drain more stamina. And this is like a dash? Yeah. Maybe I should upgrade my bite as well. Well, confirm. The following night. The district is healthy. Alright, so I hope the whole passing of time doesn't matter. That when you go to, you know, upgrade to evolve, and it just says, oh, the following night. I really hope that doesn't matter. I really hope there isn't like an actual like time limit that I'm using up by doing that. But anyways, thank you guys for watching and good night.